everyone. This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Super pumped. We've got a very special guest joining us all the way from Australia, from down under. I would love my people from down under. So it's in the morning for him. It's nighttime for me. He's a former professional athlete. He is a serial entrepreneur and a philanthropist in the making. Please welcome Dan Lazar. Dan, thank you for joining us today. I'm super excited for this conversation. You've done quite a lot in your entrepreneurial career.
Hi, Diana. Thank you for the opportunity. It's very exciting to do this. Look, I've always had very big dreams, so entrepreneurship seemed like the way to go to, I guess, achieve my dreams and help others along the way as well.
Yeah. So you've done some really cool stuff. You had your first round of investment in Shark Tank Romania. So what was that for? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, that was for HeroX, the property development that I have here. I pitched the idea of in Shark Tank Romania to do property development in Australia. On TV, it was amazing. I raised money from 2 of the 5 sharks. In reality, COVID came and they came up with excuses, but I guess some of them were valid excuses. But that's how it works. 30% of the time you don't really get the money. So whatever we see on TV, in the States, I think it's 30% of the time. Actually, they go ahead. 70% of the time, it's just on TV. There's no follow through.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's an interesting piece of information. Well,
it's a show, 90%. It's a show that inspires people to pursue entrepreneurship, but it's just a show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, darn, that burst my bubble. No, that's all right. But yeah, it had to be a very cool experience being on the show. Everybody knows Shark Tank. I'm sure is it the same people or no, different people?
Different people. So in each country, there are different people.
Oh, very cool. Now, you were also named 30 under 30 by Forbes. So talk to us about that. That's a really cool, that gives you a lot of credibility.
Yeah, that was exciting, but I have to mention that again, it's in Romania. So I guess in the States, I feel like it has a higher profile, and I think even Mark Zuckerberg was 30 under 30 with Forbes in the US. So that was on the back of my first company. I had a tennis academy that at some point we scaled to 3 locations. I sold that in 2019, and I guess that's a bit out of the ordinary for Romania. I don't know anybody else that has sold a tennis club in Romania.
Yeah. So before we start recording, we have something in common. My fiance is Romanian. He's originally from there, so he's got his passport, that from there. And I actually shared with him that I was going to be recording with you, and he thought that was pretty neat because it's just neat that you talk to somebody from another country that you're kind of we're all connected one way or another. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, I'd be curious to have a chat with him.
Well, he's working right now. He's a Chicago police officer, so he is working. He's been working crazy hours, so I'm barely seeing him as it is. So talk to us about this new, what you were raising money for. So you now have, you're the founder and CEO of HeroX.com.au. I love the name. I love the name. I think that it's got great clickbait potential. It says a lot. So talk to us about that and the inspiration of what brought you to starting that.
Good question. So it's a HeroX.com.au. It's a property development company focused on developing townhouses next to nature. So the first development is next to the Yarra River, the main river in Melbourne. Second development is next to a park. So I just focused on developing in locations where I would personally enjoy living and that I think they have a higher demand and supply due to how amazing the location is. So I got to do this by being inspired by one of the biggest property developers in Romania. I had the chance to play tennis with him. Sometimes he was telling me stories and I said, you know what? I'm inspired enough that at some point I'll start a property development company. So when I moved to Australia, that was the moment when I started, and we're currently at we're finishing development number 1. We're into development number 2, roughly $12 million in value, both of them. And I guess the reason why hero is a term that is included in the name is because this is what I've done with all of my companies so far. So the first company was Tennis Hero. We helped kids without financial possibilities to play tennis. Then it was Covers Hero. Now it's HeroX. With HeroX, besides making profit, we're also aiming to help people that are homeless with shelter. So for each home that we build and sell, we aim to get off the streets one homeless person.
I love that. That's amazing. Well, that's kind of like your brand then. So you're like a secretly a undercover like superhero.
I'm
Is it?
in the making. I'm in the process of becoming a hero at some point, hopefully.
So why be an entrepreneur? Did you always want to be an entrepreneur? Were you raised around entrepreneurs? What made you want to take that path?
Good question. So, first of all, I feel like I probably my mom was always making me compliments when I was small, and I always had an idea that I'm very good, I'm very smart, I'm special, and probably that led to me believing that I have the chance to make very big dreams happen. So I started dreaming bigger and bigger and bigger, and definitely entrepreneurships for me seems like the best way to achieve those big dreams, and I guess help a lot of people along the way as well, and also live a life that is aligned with your values, where you can have location freedom, time freedom sometimes, obviously, but I'm not saying that as if I have those, but it's I guess something that I'm currently working on as well.
Yeah, no, I think that it takes, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. That's aligned with my values. I've tried to work in the corporate world. It just does not work for me. Like I don't, I don't take very well to authority, especially when it comes to business, because I've done a lot in business, you know, and it's hard for me to take direction from someone. I'm like, I've experienced a lot more life than you have. So you know what I mean? So I can appreciate, you know, a majority of my guests and the audience is entrepreneurs. And so like, that's, you know, I love hearing stories of people that have just lived life on their own terms, because there are so many people out there that want to do that, but are scared to do it. So I love to hear stories and share stories of people that have continued down that path and have been successful doing so.
Yeah, that's very nice. I feel like I agree. I think a lot of people have a lot more potential, but because they're scared, they stay in that place and they give in to the context or the situation that is surrounding them, and they don't take the leap of faith. And then, yeah, I feel like it's important to be very clear where you want to get, how you're getting there, and to live according to your plan, not according to somebody else's plan.
Exactly. Live label free. What would be some advice that you would, so if somebody's listening right now and they really want to break out of like the corporate world and start a business, what would be some advice that you would tell them before they got started, or to get started with whatever idea they might have?
Look, the only thing is I would tell them to do as I have done. So to have a very clear plan of where they want to be in 30, 50 years from now on, then break it down. Okay, where do I want to be next year, this year, and this and that, and then start to come up with a game plan on how to get there. I feel like I've seen a study. I'm not sure if the study is accurate, or the way I'm telling it is accurate. So in 1950s, all of the students within Yale University have been asked if they have a plan and a goal and a plan on how to get there. 97% said no. 3% said yes. 20 years later, the same people have been asked the same question, and the 3% that said yes and had a goal and a plan, their net worth was more than the other 97% combined. So I feel like having a plan is maybe 50% of what you need, and then working as much as you can in that direction, not in other directions, so you can take massive action in the direction of your goals is also valuable. So I think if you do these two things, have clarity where you're going, have an action plan, and take massive action, 80% is done. You might not get there in 10 years, you might get there in 20, but that doesn't really matter. Even if you're targeting the stars, you will be around the moon or somewhere.
So you've actually changed direction quite a few times. So you did, you had your professional tennis school, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so I had a tennis academy in Bucharest.
And so then what were you named 30 under 30 for by Forbes?
For I guess the first business, the activity that we've done with Tennis Hero, it was the fact that we grew quite quickly, and the fact that we got to 3 locations in the first, let's say, 2 to 3 years of operating. It was quite special. It's quite normal to have a number of locations with, let's say, a health facility or like a gym, but with a tennis club, it's a lot more complicated and complex. So I think that the year before me, Simona Halep was 30, under 30, and she's an amazing, one of the best tennis players in Romania.
Very cool. And so do you think that if you are an entrepreneur and you need to change directions because of one business, you either like lost its fire, or Athena's just wanting to say hi. Yes.
Beautiful dog. I have a dog as well, so she's probably feeling my energy.
Probably. She's ready to play. Thanks, Dan. I think that that's part of being an entrepreneur, though, is that sometimes you have to change directions. Sometimes you start a business and you learn, trial by fire sometimes, that, does not mean that you're a failure. It just means that maybe that's just not the right business for you.
Yeah, I agree. Look, the reason why I changed directions is because I saw that my dreams were here and how I was making progress towards them was here. So I felt like, look, if I want to get in this lifetime to my goals, I definitely need to change something. It's amazing. I like those businesses. I like the value that we're creating, the impact. However, I don't feel like that I'm as aligned with getting towards my goals as I was in the beginning. So property development might be the vehicle to take me to my dreams, or it might not. I have no idea. Time will tell, I guess.
Well, sure. You guys gotta try. So why Australia? Why did you pick there?
Look, 50% is the fact that my wife is Australian, so we always kind of knew that at some point we might relocate here, and the other 50% is because I was planning to do property development. Australia is probably one of the most fertile grounds to do something like this, due to the fact that it has the record for economic growth on the globe, 27 years without any recessions. In 2008, we didn't have a recession here, and secondly, I guess it's an economy where just a lot of people are moving here. So I think before pandemic, it was the #1 country in the world. If we look at how many people are moving here, which is, I don't know, 300 to 400,000 people per year, compared to how small the country is. So America is the #1 in the world, according to immigration. However, Australia is sort of immigration per capita is the #1 in the world, due to the quality of life and due to the amazing sort of nature and life that we have here.
That's on my bucket list. I've always dreamed of going to Australia. So I record with I have a lot of guests from Australia, and I just absolutely love the vibe from there, and I have such great conversations. So I'm going to make it there soon. I've been invited several times. I've got places to stay. So my one guest, she is in Perth. She's like, oh, you would love it because there's beautiful beaches. And so, yeah, that's on my list to go there. So what do you expect to, I see, like, I'm going to let you say it, but what do you expect to accomplish with HeroX?
Look, my vision is to build $1 billion property development company. And I potentially sell it after that. And then until I die, just donate donate money in all directions, in helping people with, housing, with water, with food, with education. I feel like those are the 4 directions that I feel passionate about. And I've already done a bit in these directions, but I plan to do a lot more.
Yeah, because it says here you want to help 1 million people with education and shelter. That's a huge goal.
Yes, but I guess big goals, I feel like people overestimate what they can do this year, but underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So even though it is good and it is big and it is a bit scary as well, I think I have a chance to achieve it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Having big dreams and big goals is important. There is great men can accomplish great things if they believe in what they're trying to do. So I'm all about it. How can people support you with this organization, or, where can people contact you if they're interested in learning a little bit more? Can you share that with the audience?
Yeah. So the website is herox.com.au, and fundamentally we can help in 2 directions. One, if somebody is keen to get a home or an investment property in Australia, then we can have a chat with them. Otherwise, if they're just looking to get a return, then we are open for investors to invest in the property developments that we are doing, even though we have the capital to do them more on our own. Because I want to scale, I always leave at least 50% to come from investors. So then when I scale, I have a lot more money, or a lot more access to money to do the bigger and bigger deals.
Oh, very cool. I actually think I have somebody I'm going to introduce you to that I think might be interested in investing. So that's a sidebar. I digress. I'll send you that offline. So we're getting a little close on time. So I'd like to know, like, what would you like to leave with the audience as far as like any last words of wisdom or advice?
Good question. I feel like it's important. I feel like a lot of what I've done, a lot of what I'm doing, it is coming from my big dream. So I feel like dreaming bigger or doing a 10x, whatever your dream is, doing a 10x, applying a 10x multiple on it, so you can dream bigger, and might be a very important thing that might enable you to achieve more. And then having a written plan and taking massive action, I feel like are the foundation upon which I'm building, and the reason why I probably am a bit more ahead compared to what other people at 28 years old are.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Good luck on all of your projects here. I'm going to make an introduction for you. I'm excited to watch your dream come true, come to reality, and keep us posted. Let us know when things are like rocking and rolling, and we'll have to have you back and update the audience and let us know how many people you've helped and how much further your project has gone.
Thank you, Diana. It was a very exciting conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. All right, you guys, this is your host, Diana Radulescu with Label Free Podcasts. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to follow, subscribe, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.
Recording stopped.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right.
The dog is excited.
She was getting on my
nerves. Let me introduce you to my dog as well.
Yeah, let's see. Cut it out.
He's a bit grumpy.
Hi. Oh, cute. What kind of dog is that?
It's a rescue. It's a combination between a poodle and a Bichon. He's like a Bichon that is double the size.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I got pit bulls. So she's a smaller pit bull. The other one, he's a little bit bigger. Quiet. Beautiful. Enough of you. All right, Dan. Well, we'll keep you posted when this goes live. But I'm going to make an introduction to his name is Krishna, and he's always looking for opportunities to help to invest with people. And so he does. I know he gets involved in property. So I'm going to make that introduction via email, and then you guys can take it from there.
Thank you, Diana. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Would be quite keen to also have a chat with your husband if he has time at some point.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll let him know that you'd like to talk to him, and then you guys can just email or something and go from there. I'm sure he'd love that conversation. So, all right. Well, you have a great day. Your day is starting. My day is coming to an end. So I'll be in touch soon.